Hi, I'm Melissa, your free range psychic. Today I am going to do an update on the coronavirus and hopefully give some information so people get, if they haven't already done that themselves, get more of a sense of what it is and what the potential of it is for spreading, or the mortality rate, that kind of thing. When I do my readings, I do them psychically. I ask my spirit guides to show me the cards, and then I fish them out of the deck, and then I ask my guides, what do these mean? Why did you choose them? I'm using the Ciro Marchetti Gilded Tarot deck today for this reading. I do a simple Celtic cross, and then, as usual, there is an oracle card for us at the end, and also per usual, I added a musical interlude if you want to hang on towards the very end. The subject card, this is the Tower. This is the coronavirus hitting out of the blue, causing all kinds of panic and illness, and of course death. It is unexpected, and it is a catastrophe. I don't know if you've seen pictures of deserted cities in China, and they've closed their industries and their schools, and everything is, as I don't know what's happening today, so to speak, but in the past few weeks since the coronavirus hit, they've really turned on the off switch, and people are at home, or even not just at home, but even they've been had to leave their homes and go elsewhere. Everybody's wearing masks and taking preventative measures, and so that kind of thing. So it's a big Tower moment, and it's spreading. It's I think the Turkish the vice president. No, that's not true. The Iranian second in command, she's come down with the coronavirus. I don't know how she's doing today, but it's hitting everywhere. Japan is, I think they're closing all their schools until April, and so this is a big deal. But it's not just the virus itself, it's the virus then affecting the economy, right? So the stock market plunges. China's such a huge producer and exporter of products, is really feeling the hit, and that's shaking up everything else. That's shaking up everybody who buys from China, and who relies on the inexpensive purchases and the wholesale market. It's just really all being hit. So that is being felt throughout the world right now. And then let us not forget that the Tower, most usually, not in every case, but I checked with my guides, is representing the Trump administration, Trump Tower, and the administration itself is being hit by this virus. They're scrambling around trying to do their best to make it work for them, but this is a disaster for them, and it's going to really, really become even more of a disaster in the near future, as their base, who really, what are they? The 1%, and those who have a libertarian mind, and who believe that Trump could shoot somebody on the street as long as the stock market is doing okay, or their money's okay. They're going to be suffering, and they're going to be really upset that because of the inadequate response that the administration is giving. And so the top card is the Page of Swords. And so my guides say this this Page of Swords represents Mike Pence and the other people that have been put in charge. And see how the stance of this guy is. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm, yeah, I'm entitled and superior, and yeah, you can, it's kind of like Kushner card, Jared Kushner card. I deserve to, be put in these positions just because I am who I am, but knowing nothing about what they're supposed to be doing, being completely ineffectual and detached. So I looked up Mike Pence. And all these articles that I refer to, I will include them below in the description part. So if you want to check them out, they're going to be there for you. And apparently he has a horrible reputation regarding these kinds of things. He's a disaster in the making, and he's going to be beyond with the coronavirus. Beyond that, he is an Armageddonist, an evangelical who wants the end of the world to come. So he's happy for this to happen. It gets the rapture ever closer and closer. So this is great. It's like, yeah, I'm doing God's work here, letting this thing spread. So he has a like that an agenda that is beyond being a vice president and helping the American people, whatever his oath is, because he really, for his people, for the evangelicals, he bring it on. Yeah, this is great. Wipe out the human race. This is what we want, because then we get to be raptured up. But this is also, the other people that Trump has put in charge, who are pathetic. They're ill qualified for their job, as per usual in the Trump administration, because the Trump administration, following Steve Bannon's grand plan, is and Grover Norquist as well, and probably the Koch brothers, all the people who want to see the American government destroyed from within, taking it apart, dismantling it from within. This is what's happening right now. This is why Trump is in power, and this is why he chooses who he chooses. And all his choices are counterintuitive and only serve those who wish to exploit this country and who would be happy to see it all fall into bankruptcy and then sold overseas. That's how they make their money. That's what they're into. They're not into the higher good, except if it's for themselves. So that's what this card represents. In the recent past, this Six of Swords card, my guides say this is a coronavirus. How it's spreading. It starts in one place, and then it's traveling out. So we've had I think 1 or 2 cases of the coronavirus. And we've had more, forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but there are a few cases here. There's a lot more cases in Iran and the countries that are more adjacent to China, and they're really getting into gear to prevent the worst from happening, for this to be traveling, because I guess the best word is coronavirus is contagious. This is what this card is representing. Underneath is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands has to do with the response of the Trump administration, which is it's not a rational response. It's not calling all doctors and scientists and let's see what's really going to help the most, and also ease the panic and put everything in a more rational and realistic state of mind, so that we're really calming the populace down, but at the same time we're asking them to do what they can do to stop the spread of this virus. No, we're going to come at it to try to manipulate it for political purposes, and also at the same time we're going to accuse the Democrats and other people who are coming into, putting pressure on the government to do something. We're going to accuse them of politicizing this this crisis, and we're going to say it's not a big deal. It's fine. We don't have to worry about it. Just wait till April. And there is a sense that it does become weaker in April, but in the meantime, there could be, a lot of illness and death in between that. It makes no sense to just like, oh, it's going to be gone in April, which we may or may not be true. It may grow weaker then, but we don't know that, and that's not really what we should be thinking about right now. We should be thinking about this time when it's really going to have the most potential of spreading and becoming life-threatening. But this is not where the government's coming from. They're really looking at it from egocentric and manipulative stance. And they're also, this is them trying to control their base by getting their base to be emotional and irrational about it. It's all a big hoax, right? The coronavirus hoax, it's a hoax. So this is where they're coming from. In the near future is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is I'm gonna put this on pause just for a second because I want to look at my notes again about this card. Got it. So the Page of Wands in the near future. This is then the American people or American public, the states, the cities, the local government, the people themselves feeling pretty much abandoned by their government regarding this, and now they're all into gear. Trying to figure out how to deal with it themselves. We're gonna take this on ourselves because we can't rely on the government. They're not giving us information, and they're not helpful. And we're concerned about our community, our children, our elderly, our own health. How do we protect our own community? So this is going to be the response of the American public. They're going to have to rely on their own governance apart from the federal government. The clarifying cards, I got two of them, a clarifying card and a card to clarify. So this is the Nine of Swords. So this is a panic, right? This is a panic. This is the worry, the fear. Oh, we're all going to die. This is going to, be human extinction. This is going to be horrible. What's going to happen? Am I going to get sick? Am I going to die? This is the general feeling of panic and fear, keeping people up at night, feeling helpless, not knowing what to do, just being very frightened. And the clarifying card for that is death. So this is the fear of dying from this illness, having no recourse against it. It's an ungrounded fear. Meaning, I mean ungrounded in the sense that it knocks people off it's knocking people off their axis of control of thinking rationally, because when we're in fear, we feel powerless. We are in a place that's not really based on reality. The reality of the coronavirus is, yes, it's very dangerous. It's dangerous in a specific way. And I did look up the statistics regarding this disease. And yes, it does bring death. That's not, like a hoax or, misunderstanding, but it doesn't bring death to everybody who gets it. So when I looked up what is the percentage rate of those who die, what are the demographics? I mean, how does it affect statistically certain demographics? What is the real deal with this disease? And I've included all of this below. I'll read you what I found out. So this was, and this is in the locus. If you think about how disease spreads, and the fact that as they go farther and farther away from their point of origin, they do become a little less impactful in terms of not potentially that people. I think somebody has died from it already here, maybe Washington State, but it's not going to be in the same numbers as it was in the original location. How does it get spread? It gets spread through from animal to human, so in this one instance, out of 44,672 confirmed cases, and I think this is in actually Wuhan, China, where it originated. Out of 44,672 confirmed cases, there were 1,023 deaths, so it was like a 2.3% mortality rate. The highest mortality rates, the lowest were toddler to 59, from 60 to 69, 309 people out of 8,583 cases died from it. From 70 to 79, 312 out of 3,918 people died from it. And above 80, 208 people died from it out of 1,408. And then when I read the latest article from the Washington Post, because more people have died from it since then, has spread more widely, they're saying there's a 1% death rate now, statistically. And then I looked up and Googled, well, how does, will it, oh, this is what I Googled. Will it become weaker or stronger over time? And I have a sense of how that works, but I wanted to make sure that I was on track. So what I read was most influenza epidemics last 2 to 3 years, and that was true with the SARS and the epidemic and the swine flu, and that's how long it takes for human immunity to build up to become less affected by it and more resilient. So just FYI, it's not the kind of virus that will eradicate the human race because we have no defense. Our immune system is our defense. Our immune system needs time to build up its resilience so it is stronger against it. It becomes less of a threat and kind of probably more like the common flu or cold over time. So time will mitigate its threat. And I just want you to know that this is how things work. In the meantime, it's really important to take the preventative measures you would with any cold or flu. I mean, I'm not a doctor to tell you what to do, but I mean, just common sense and what I've been reading, because there aren't any vaccine, I don't think, and that's up to you to take a vaccine or not. I'm not going to get into that, but there isn't any right now, and antibiotics don't work they're not a cure for it. So wash your hands. Do you know what I like to do? I've been doing this for a long time anyways. I have a thing of it's natural hand sanitizer because I'm not a believer in chemicals and I'm sensitive to them. So this is, the hand sanitizers I'm talking about. These are made up of probably alcohol and then, essential oils that are antiseptic, like eucalyptus and lavender and orange oil, lemon oil, and just, make sure that you can always be cleaning your hands if you've gone out anywhere public. Be mindful of carts. Most places these days, at least grocery stores, they have those wipes. You can wipe off the handle. Then, if you do get sick, don't go into work if you can help it. I know that, that's not always possible, but the rule of thumb is, or the common sense is, stay home, keep your children home, so it's not spread. Just think it's like any other virus, any other contagious virus. Majority of people are not dying from it. So it's the kind of cold or flu that you treat with plenty of bed rest, keep hydrated, and make sure you're tending to your respiratory system, because I think that is how people are dying from it, is that they have respiratory failure. So you want to make sure that you're being able to treat that in whatever way you do. Personally, I would use really good herbal teas and tinctures and things like that. That's just my way. Elderberry and peppermint and eucalyptus and licorice and those kinds of things. But so however you do it, that is how you treat it. It's just a really bad flu outbreak. I think they're comparing it to like the Spanish flu of 1913 or something like that. But it's more consequential because there's more travel now. We have much more contact with each other. It's a larger world. There's more people, and it's likely to spread faster and in a wider radius. But saying that, the predictions are for this country, America, that it isn't likely to, be as wide an outbreak as China. Nevertheless, we need to be careful about it and just take common sense precautions. Again, majority of people are not dying from it, but they're getting pretty sick, and there's a potential. Just like people die from your common variety flu too sometimes. Though the coronavirus right now is more potent and more dangerous, so you've got to respect that. But it isn't for the majority of people anyway. It isn't fatal. So I haven't gotten to my outcome cards yet. So and I have a clarifying card. I guess I'll put them up at the same time. So the Three of Pentacles came up, and what my guides are saying is it's all still in flux. What's happening right now? Its effect on China, its effect on the bordering countries, on the world, and also its effect on the economy. It's something that I think it's going to take several months before things settle. But China's definitely going to take is taking a bad hit. Although on the other side of it, I guess you look at silver linings for these kinds of things, the pollution rate has more than halved in China for the first time for God knows ever since it's become industrialized. I'm not sure if that's a fact, but it's pretty profound. And I'm posting that too. There's a map that you can see regarding the toxic emissions, on a daily basis that happen in the industrialized areas and what's going on now. And it's really, air looks pretty clean. So that's the positive side of when you get this kind of a plague, and then boom, the other side of human industry gets shut down. The environment is actually going to benefit from this. I just thought that was an interesting, kind of like take on it. But I'll post that article too. And then the clarifying card for the outcome card is the Eight of Cups. So my guides were telling me that it will take 8 cycles for the virus I was trying to figure out what 8 cycles meant. Maybe it meant 8 seasons for our immunity to build up and be able to handle this better. Maybe other discoveries in how to treat it, be they traditional or alternative. And then we're walking away from it. It's no longer this big catastrophe or big disaster in the making. But it has claimed its victims here. But we're walking away from it here. And moving on. So, yeah, there's always something. Nature's always going to throw something our way. Keep your immunity, keep up your immunity, tend to your immune system. That is the best way you can handle these things. Our oracle card. This is awesome. My guides chose this, and I think it's it's really, 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 really awesome. It's from the Ascended Masters Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. Ta-da! Detach from drama. Yeah. Pella Athena. When I'm thinking about this card, I think a week or so ago, I was so, I could feel my fight or flight response just churned up to the max. My nervous system just hypervigilant, just in this fear state, because I've been watching so much television. MSNBC, which I love. I love Rachel and I love Maddow and I love Joy Reid, but everything was just making me so frightened. Everything was terrible, and I just thought, I have to detox. I have to step away from this. I cannot be in this state of fear. I have to trust what my guides tell me. They've always shown me things will work out. Things are going to be okay. We are going to come to a higher place. We are going to transcend this. And I need to step away and not watch for a while. And then, come to a state of balance and inner peace and calm. And then maybe I can go back to it. And I did that because I had to. And sometimes I feel guilty for it, because I should be keeping up with all of this. But I realized that that fear was being stoked. I don't think it's intentionally by the people like Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid, but I think in some way it's just sensationalism. The media, it feeds off itself. It's self-perpetuating into this kind of hyper trauma. And yeah, I absolutely understand. Rachel Maddow had every right to be terrified of what this government's turning into, for sure. And the rest of Joy Reid and Lawrence O'Donnell. But I couldn't handle it. So I stepped away, and I'm really grateful because a week or two, our world's still here, and actually things are now shifting and changing, and the coronavirus is probably one of the reasons it's going to. Maybe it came in bifold, kind of as a bringer of illness and death, but also as a liberator. Maybe it's going to be the thing that liberates us from the Trump administration. It definitely is going to weaken it, because it's going to weaken the economy. So detach from drama. You've been drawn into the upsetting world of human egos by focusing upon a drama. Although it's nothing more than a story, the drama feels frightening to you. This card comes to you as a helping hand in finding your way out of the story by detaching from drama. Don't get pulled into the various plots, twists, turns, and characters of the drama. Instead, view it as a movie that will have a happy or at least resolved ending. Of course, you'll have compassion for everyone involved, yet you don't have to let drama pull you down in any way. As you focus upon the positive, you bring about a positive resolution. Additional meanings for this card. Let go of attempts to make everyone happy. Allow others to make their own choices in life. Don't delay your life's purpose by focusing upon other people's issues. Avoid gossiping about or judging others. Guilty. I am guilty. I'm a terrible gossip, but I don't mean to do it in a negative way. So I have to think about that one. I think we need to judge others sometimes. I mean, especially in Trump. So that one, yeah, you can take that or leave that, but whatever you feel. Pallas Athena is the Grecian goddess of wisdom who became the patroness of Athens in a contest with the ocean god Poseidon. The term Pallas is one often given to Greek deities, and her more common name is simply Athena. She's a war goddess who uses wisdom instead of weapons to win conflicts. Call upon Pallas Athena for help with any conflict or any situation calling for wisdom. She comes to us at a good time. We need her. So that is my reading about this coronavirus and the state of events at the current time. It's March 1st, 2020. I hope everybody enjoyed their leap year Saturday, and happy March. I always remind people I do personal readings, past life readings, anything in the present, including past and present in this lifetime and future. And I'm a medium, and I'm also very happy to introduce you to your guardian angels. I love doing that. And my information, my contact information is below, and I also leave it at the very end of the musical interlude. And if you want information regarding, my prices or anything regarding the reading that you're curious about, just contact me. And I set things up by appointment. I hope that everybody is surviving this. It's like we're all on this huge ship at sea, and sometimes the water's calm, and then sometimes it's really, really choppy, and it's really unpredictable, and it's driving us nuts. And more often than not with Trump, it's choppy. He doesn't like calm waters. He's going to stir it up, right? But this time the world stirred it up with the coronavirus. How is he going to handle that? Not very well. You guys take care. I'll be back soon. Check out my Facebook page, Sacred Fire Psychic Readings. I also have a Patreon channel under Sacred Fire Psychic. Love to you all. Bye-bye.